Hello and welcome back to the second part of my Redstone tutorial for map making, of course. Okay, in addition to last episode, before I start with a new topic, I want to show you something cool about slabs. And that's basically about redstone wire, so should have been part of the last episode, sorry for that. We have a strange contraption here. What that basically shows us is that since half slabs, as I showed in last episode, aren't obstructing the path of redstone vertically, we have a cool occurrence here that the redstone connects to the diagonally attached next slab, next redstone, and you can use that to have a 2x1 area that will let go redstone up in any height, of course not any height, 15 blocks, sorry for that, 15 blocks, and then you would need to use a repeater or something else, or torches to repeat the progress. And I'll show you another use for that, since you could stack torches up like we had last episode, that you take a torch and put the next on top and so on. I shouldn't probably put that in one place. So here, and put that up, and the upper torch is on, and if we give it an input, it is off. You could tower that up, but I'll give a reason why not, why you shouldn't do that later on. Okay, so this is pretty useful, but it has some downside. As we have seen last episode, half slabs don't get powered itself by the redstone. So if we put redstone lamp or any output down here, it won't get powered because this half slab itself doesn't receive power. If we connect the redstone lamp or any output directly to the redstone wire, since it's pointed, that works. And what works else is if we point the redstone to a block, power the block, and the output will get power too. What I want to show you here now, the glowstone lamp is a solid block itself, so it can get powered and power adjacent glowstone lamps, which can be confusing while wiring if you just want to have specific glowstone lamps in an array working. You need to put a block in between to not power the glowstone lamp, the redstone lamp, which will then power adjacent redstone lamps. So this has a side effect. So you see the redstone power goes up as very well, but it doesn't travel down. So that's the point in I'll turn the sound down for a second there. Sorry for that. Oh, it's still pretty loud. So, okay. The redstone wire doesn't connect down. Well, it connects, but it doesn't give power downwards from a slab. And that has some practical uses. As you can imagine, repeaters have some downsides too. I will explain that later in this tutorial. Well, not downsides, but functionality other than just repeating. And you can use this function here to have power just go one way. So we turn that stuff off now here, and we'll place a torch here, and you see the redstone wanders up but doesn't travel down from slabs. So we could show that at any height here. So let's just put a redstone torch here, and you see the redstone doesn't connect down but up. Okay, we can use it to isolate cables from each other. So you want the power to travel only one way. So we have for example, we'll have 2 inputs here and 1 output. So the problem is I want to turn this input on, but I don't want the power to come over here to the other input, and you can prevent that with an half slab. So we can give power from both sides, but the power will not go to the other input. Just for example. That was improvised here, so yeah. Okay, now we're going to pistons. Pistons are very, very important for multiple reasons. First off, you can build really cool mechanics, but for redstone logic gates later on, they are really easy to use. So let me show you what they do. First off, we have a normal piston and a sticky piston here, and if we give power to them from any sides, they will extract and retract when we take the power again, when you shut the power source off. So what's the difference between a piston and a sticky piston? It's pretty easy. If we put a block on a normal piston and give power, it pushes it up. If we put power to a sticky piston with a block on top, it takes the block down again. So this has limits. I can show you that here. This is a normal piston, and if we give power to the normal piston, normally it should extract, but it will only push 12 blocks in front of it. So every 5th block is orange here, and we have 13 blocks here. If I take the 13th block and give power, it will push the whole column. So we have 12 blocks here again, but this time with a sticky piston. So the sticky piston behaves in a funny way here. You would expect to push all the way down and pull again all the way down, but it will push all the blocks and pull only the last block in the row. So keep that in mind. It won't pull the whole column back. Okay, that's it for piston now. I will explain a further meaning and functionality of pistons later on. Part of it in this tutorial, but for now just the practical use of pistons in general. So before we continue, I want to show you some input variants here, and I'm going into timing here too, because that's interconnected very, very deeply. This is a switch, a lever. If we pull the lever, it will give a redstone current to the top, bottom, and side of the powered block. So if we recall the other tutorial, it will power the block hardly. So hard, not hardly. Again, this mistake. So it will power the block hard, so that will give a redstone current even to the block below. So if we would have wire below, I will show you that really quick. Oh, I've prepared that here. Very good. It will power wire below, to the sides, and on the top. Forgot that I prepared that. So those are buttons. You've probably seen them before. What does that mean on the signs here? I will explain that now. Okay, the time measurement in the Minecraft code is in ticks. We have game ticks and redstone ticks. They are different in some ways. In the game ticks, we have 20 of them per second. But we only have 10 redstone ticks per second. And that means every second game tick is a redstone tick. keep that in mind when you're reading on the Minecraft wiki or stuff, because often, for example, in hopper mechanics, game ticks are given and not redstone ticks. So you have only half as many redstone ticks per second as game ticks. Redstone ticks, we can use redstone ticks to measure the time, and it's given because only if you have a lag-free environment, 10 redstone ticks equal a second. If we have lag, that can, well, not be that exact anymore. But for measurement in redstone, we normally speak in ticks. So a button gives a pulse, a redstone pulse, that is 10 ticks long. 10 ticks equals 1 second here. 1 second. And the wooden button is, the pulse of the wooden button is 50% longer, so 15 redstone ticks and 1.5 seconds. Did I say 50% there? I hope so. So, okay. We'll try to show both. Yeah, it's a bit longer, you see. So those two are pressure plates. Pressure plates, there are two more pressure plates, an iron pressure plate and a gold pressure plate, but we won't go into them because they will probably get changed with patch 1.7, and I will do an additional video on them later on if they are changed, when they are changed. So a pressure plate gives off redstone current as long as we stand on it, or a mob can trigger them too. So basically mobs and players on stone pressure plates, and the tricky thing is wooden pressure plates behave the same but have an additional use, so you can throw items on them and they will work too. And if we take the item again, it doesn't, it stops giving off the current. So another use of repeaters. Okay, what we have here is an example of repeater timings. We have those different repeater settings here. That is the same block, the same repeater, but if we right click them, we change the setting every time. Okay, we talked about ticks already, so I can tell you what the different settings mean. Repeaters and torches have the downside, if you place them, that they give the circuit a delay. I say downside all the time, but it's only a downside if you are a beginner and want to have matching timings. But later on, that's probably the most useful thing about repeaters and torches, that they have a delay and that you can calculate those delays because they are always the same in the same settings. Except if the server lags, of course. So a repeater gives in its normal state, if you place it just down like that, gives a 1 tick delay per repeater. In its second state, if you right click once, it has a 2 tick delay. If you hit another time, the second time, it has a 3 tick delay, and for the third time it has a 4 tick delay. So we have 1 tick delay repeaters here, 2 tick delay repeaters here, 3 tick delay repeaters here, and 4 tick repeater delay repeaters here. And redstone wire is instant. So we'll press the button and see the result. So you see the the redstone signal got delayed here. Which is pretty useful. Okay, so I want to show you that timing can cause trouble and add another functionality, because some blocks behave different with different timings. Normally a block is output block like those redstone lamps here, react to the redstone as long as they are powered. We have a few exceptions here. I want to show you the most simple ones. So on timings of pistons again. So back to the pistons now with timing. Pistons need 2 ticks to extract and retract instantly. And that sounds really strange because it has an animation to retract too, but for its function it takes 2 ticks to extend, not extract, sorry, I mix that up all the time, extend and retracts instantly. So what do you want to do with this setup here? Sorry, I had to make a cut here. So what do you want to do with this setup here? The redstone wire powers the piston from this block here. What the redstone wire does too, it points at the solid block here, and as we know, if a solid block gets powered by redstone and a repeater is behind it, the repeater gets powered too. But as the piston extends, the repeater loses its power while the piston extends after 1 tick of time. The piston is not fully extended at that time. Loses its power after 1 tick of time, and the repeater catches this 1 tick pulse we get then, because we turn this longer pulse into a shorter one that is called a monostable circuit, if we talk about later on. For now it's just a pulse shortener, and it gives off a 1 tick pulse, and 1 tick pulse does funny things to redstone. So we have 2 sticky pistons here and 2 torches. I have repeaters here, not to delay the circuit, but repeaters have this another function, this additional function, that they extend the signal to their at a minimum to their own length. So if we put a 10 tick pulse into a repeater, the length of 10 ticks, like a button push, then nothing will change, but the signal would get delayed for 2 ticks. But if we put a 1 tick pulse in a repeater that is set to 2 ticks length, it will lengthen the pulse to 2 ticks. It would lengthen the pulse to 3 ticks if we set it on 3 ticks delay, and 4 ticks if we would set it on 4 ticks delay. But for now we'll just set it on 2 ticks delay to show you the difference between a 1 tick pulse and a 2 tick pulse. So you would expect that the redstone torch goes off for a very short time if we give power to it, and that the piston would extend and retract again with pulling the block back, because it's a sticky piston. But if we push here, you will see that only the torch in the back here went off for the short period of time, and only this piston pulled the block back. So sticky pistons and torches and other blocks have a different reaction on 1 tick pulses. Torches don't react at all to 1 tick pulses, which can be very useful, and sticky pistons basically don't pull blocks back when they get 1 tick pulse. They extend but don't pull the block back down. So if we give a 1 tick pulse again, you will see that the sticky piston pulled the block down again. So every second time, the first time it will push it up, the second time it would pull it down. And we can use that for various things, but for now I just wanted to show that timing is crucial for redstone builds, and that most of the time if things get messed up or don't work, it's because of timing and mostly piston stuff. So another thing I want to show you quick is a function of redstone torches. So as we said, redstone torches have a 1 tick delay. That's another problem if we tower them up to give a signal up. It's very compact, but well, it gives a delay to the whole circuit. The other problem with that stuff is if we make a little loop here, like it will show us another functionality of torches. So if I put a block up on top of this torch, it will power, of course, the redstone to the side of it. The redstone of the side of to the side of it will then proceed to power the block beneath it, which will depower this torch, which will lead to the block on top being unpowered and this redstone being unpowered, which will turn this torch on again, and that at a very fast rate. So if we do it, you'll see it flickering, and then it went out. Redstone torches can burn out after time. They will recover after time too, but they will get very unreliable with very fast changing inputs. So that is basically, I think, a lag prevention thing, and was very early in the game, but it's very interesting. So for most reasons we try to avoid torches often, because when we build contraptions later, we want them to work every time we press a button, even if we press a button rapidly or stuff like that. And that would jam up all our contraptions if we would have torches flickering all the time. And that happens not only in this setup, but every time you give fast changing pulses to torches. So now it recovered and it burned out again. And you can see it was off for a very long time here. So that's not that useful to have, but you have to keep that in mind. Okay, thanks for watching, and yeah, leave me a comment what you would like to see and how I could improve that stuff. Again, it's very hard to talk for me about that stuff, not because I'm missing the vocabulary, but because it's confusing to explain stuff that isn't really regular. It's not that it's common to talk about that on a foreign language. Yeah, if you need further explanation on any of these topics, I will do that. And from now on, we can start with the really useful stuff. We have done the most basic stuff now. So I'll hopefully see you next episode, and bye.